Welcome back to my channel, Brooklyn Human, where I check out various parts of Brooklyn on bike, on foot, and maybe by car. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like the content. Try to give you a video or two once a week as I go around various parts. In this video today, we'll be checking out a neighborhood called Prospect Lefferts Gardens. As you can see here, it's located just east of Prospect Park. It's a gorgeous neighborhood that I tend to bike around quite frequently since it's right next to the park. Now, residents of Prospect Lefferts Gardens call it Brooklyn's best kept secret. It flies under the radar of high-profile neighborhoods. This area is home to lush, leafy streets, a spectacular collection of intact 19th and 20th century homes, and access to the borough's biggest green space, of course, Prospect Park. They call it the Upper West Side of Brooklyn. As you can see here, Prospect Park is right on the left side, and I'm going up Ocean Avenue, and we've got some of these historic homes to the right as we curse around the area. Some facts about Prospect Lefferts Gardens. As I said, it's a residential neighborhood primarily. It's considered within the Flatbush area of New York City. The community is surrounded by Empire Boulevard to the north and Clarkson Avenue to the south, New York Avenue to the east, and the park here on our left to the west. It was designated a New York City landmark area back in 1979, and it's considered a historic district. As you see here on the right side, lots of construction. There's new buildings coming up all over and renovations of older buildings all throughout the neighborhood. Now, the name Prospect Lefferts Gardens is a combination of three different locations. So again, Prospect Park here on the left, as well as a old mansion called Lefferts Manor, and the Brooklyn Botanical Garden, which we won't see in this video. That will be a separate video, but it's just north of this neighborhood. I just made a right turn, and we're going to enter some of the primarily residential areas because I want to show you some of the beautiful architecture as we go along. Coming up in front of us is Flatbush Avenue. It's one of the main streets here. We're going to go past Flatbush Avenue. Excuse me if I'm not following traffic laws, but this is really early in the morning, so I feel I can do it. The area is known for its well-preserved late 19th and early 20th century architecture. It's a mix of low-rise Romanesque revival and Neo-Georgian and Neo-Tudor styles. Some of the most visually appealing homes you'll see on Sterling Street, Lefferts Avenue, Lincoln Road, Maple Street, as well as a few others. On the right and left here, as I go down the street, you can see the mixture of different homes. We have some of the older mansions on the right side, post-war apartment buildings on the left side. The neighborhood itself contains a very ethnically diverse community with largely Caribbean American and African American population. However, since the 2000s, Prospect Lefferts Gardens has been rapidly gentrifying to the dismay of some of the residents. And it makes sense that it's gentrifying because Prospect Park is the neighborhood's gravitational center. There's trails crisscrossing the park. It's ideal for running, for biking, for walking. There's spacious green lawns that gets residents out there for picnics and pick-up soccer games or reading or relaxing or listening to music. So it makes perfect sense that people want to gravitate to this neighborhood. As we go down one of my favorite streets here, I'll tell you a little bit about the history of Prospect Lefferts Gardens. It was originally settled by a Dutch family, as most of Flatbush area was, in 1660. And it was within the town of Flatbush. In 1893, the Lefferts estate was divided by James Lefferts into 600 building lots known as Lefferts Manor, and it was sold to developers. Now, in order to ensure that the neighborhood would contain homes of a substantial nature, Lefferts attached land use deed restrictions detailing that each lot contained a single-family residence built of brick or stone, at least 2 stories in height, among other restrictions. And this is one of the reasons why going down some of these small streets, we see these quite unique buildings and structures because they're following these restrictions that were placed. Now, some demographics about the area. Based upon the 2010 United States Census, the population of Prospect Lefferts Gardens was 67,000. The racial makeup of the neighborhood is approximately 10% white, 76% African American, 1% Native American. Hispanic and Latinos make up approximately 10% of the population. Life expectancy is around 81 years, which is equal to the median life expectancy of most New York City neighborhoods. Over the last 20 years, the crime rate has dramatically decreased by 82.7%. Amazing. Now, in 2017, the New York Times wrote an article about Prospect Lefferts Gardens, and it was described as the last affordable neighborhood in an area of Brooklyn that's rather close to Manhattan. They describe it as beautiful architecture, a lot of commerce, and little cafes and restaurants along Flatbush Avenue. It's very lively and diverse. In the article, they interview a gentleman who lives in a building built in 1910 on Ocean Avenue facing a park with his wife and their 2-year-old daughter. He states that their apartment on the garden level of this 3-story townhouse was bought by his parents for $50,000 in 1976. He states, "I've seen a few down the road that sell for $2.5 million. When I was a kid, you'll hear gunshots 2-3 times a week at least. Now it's once in a blue moon and you think, was that a firecracker?" The neighborhood, he states, has changed a lot from that perspective. And we've got people here from all over the world, the Caribbean, Europe, and refugees who got priced out of Park Slope. Now, the website of the New York Times recently showed 16 properties listed for sale in Prospect Lefferts Gardens, ranging from $419,000 for a one-bedroom co-op in a pre-war building to $2.9 million for a six-bedroom townhouse with a large yard. Medium sales price is approximately $465,000. And currently, there's a townhouse on Maple Street for sale for $2.95 million. Now, as for rentals, studios range from around $1,300 to $1,600 a month, and one bedrooms from $1,800 to $2,400 a month. Two bedrooms range from $2,100 to $2,800 a month, and three bedrooms range from $2,600 to $3,400 a month. Now, some latest news that I read about Prospect Lefferts Gardens. It appears there's a package and bike thief on the loose, stating residents of Prospect Lefferts Gardens are fearful that the same person has been burglarizing their buildings, stealing bicycles and packages despite upgraded security systems in their buildings. A woman who lives on Hawthorne Street said that 6 bicycles and many delivered packages have been stolen in her building in the last 2 weeks. A video of one of the break-ins shows a man wearing a dark coat and smoking a cigarette. So keep an eye out for that guy. Other news, the city's 311 system received 1,249 complaints between June 1st and June 14th about illegal fireworks, according to a city government spokesman. That's compared to a mere 21 complaints during the same period last year. And on a Prospect Lefferts Gardens Facebook group, a division has emerged between longtime residents and newer arrivals who say the fireworks keep them up at night and scare pets and children. Overall, with Prospect Lefferts Gardens' close proximity to Prospect Park, stately pre-war apartments, dozens of local shopping options, and thriving businesses with cafes, restaurants, and bars, it's not hard to see why people are flocking here. The neighborhood is also just 3 stops from the Atlantic Terminal, giving people a bevy of transit options. It's a great neighborhood. Thank you again for checking out my video. And again, I try to upload 1 to 2 videos a week so you can see different parts of Brooklyn from a different perspective than you're used to. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment below. Have a good day, guys.